Hey y'all.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Jeremy.
And we are the Savory Suitcase.
Yeah.
And today we are making low-carb, keto-friendly sugar cookies.
Woo.
We got some cookie cutters in the shape of like
some pumpkins, we got a bat, we got a ghost.
Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
And we're gonna use some royal icing, keto
friendly
royal icing, and we're gonna actually decorate them. So we're gonna kind of make the recipe really quickly and then get to the decorating part.
The fun part.
The fun part.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna start with 2/3 of a cup of granulated swerve.
We'll put the recipe down in the description for you. We are making a double batch of what that recipe is because we wanted to have just a little bit extra to like decorate
kind of play
and
with.
Stuff.
Yeah. So, and then it calls for 1 cup of butter, so that's 2 sticks or 8 ounces, softened and unsalted, okay? If you only have salted butter, that's okay. You're just gonna leave the salt out of the recipe. Okay, so then we're gonna take our hand mixer. Again, you could use a stand mixer if you'd like, but this is a little bit more convenient. So you're gonna turn it on low and we're gonna mix these two together. Okay, so then you're gonna take 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then you are going to add these to the mixing bowl one at a time while I mix in the vanilla. So we got 4 eggs here.
You trust me to do that?
Yeah, sure. Why not? 1 at a time. That's 2, not 1. It's all right. You gotta make sure you scrape the bowl as you go to make sure that all the butter is getting incorporated with the eggs. Okay, so now that we've got our eggs mixed into our mixture, we're gonna take our coconut flour, which we have a cup, and then our baking powder, which we have 1 teaspoon, and then our salt, which we have a 1/2 teaspoon. So again, if you're using salted butter, leave the salt out, but if not, we wanna add it in. That just kind of helps tame the sweetness a little bit and give it some good flavor. So we're gonna mix that in, and then we're gonna very carefully mix this in with our wet ingredients on low speed. Okay, so the recipe instructs you to take the xanthan gum, sprinkle it over the top of the dough, mix it in, and then we're gonna let it rest for about 5 minutes before we ball it up and put it in the dough to get nice and firm. Xanthan gum basically acts as the binder with the coconut flour. So typically, like regular all-purpose flour has gluten, which kind of helps keep the cookie dough together. This is, the xanthan gum kind of helps create that. So when you think about bubble gum, that's kind of what creates that xanthan or even gum tragacanth. It creates kind of a gummy texture, gives it that elasticity a little bit. So if you dumped it all in one place, it would clump up and then you would have a little hard rubber ball in your cookie dough. So we're gonna gently sprinkle it all over the top. Okay, so now that it's sprinkled on the top, we're gonna gently mix it into the dough. Good way to clean the beaters, huh? Okay, and then I'm just gonna make sure that all the xanthan gum is mixed in, that everything's folded together, and then we need to let the dough rest for a few minutes before it's good and firm to let the xanthan gum do its work and absorb some of the moisture and create that elasticity that it needs.
Better baking through science.
Better baking through science, you got that right. I'm just gonna scrape the dough out of the bowl here and onto a sheet of plastic wrap. I'm gonna take this plastic wrap and I'm gonna fold it over and we're gonna start to kind of push the dough down just a little bit. We're gonna leave some room to push the dough down. This is gonna help it chill a little bit faster, and this already kind of helps us with our rolling out, okay? So when this gets really firm, it's gonna be easier to roll out, but starting the process is gonna help it chill quicker and make it easier to roll out later.
And firmer cookies are easier to cut with the cutters when you're doing like precise shapes and stuff.
So if your dough's nice and cold because the butter's hard, once that butter firms up again, it's gonna be nice and easy. So we're just gonna kind of pack it into a little rectangle here. And voila. So we're gonna put this in the refrigerator for about 10 to 15 minutes, let it get nice and chilled, and then we're gonna take it out, roll it, cut it, cook it, decorate it. Let's go. I'm just gonna put the dough between 2 pieces of parchment so that it doesn't stick and we don't have to add additional flour. I'm gonna roll it out to about 1/4 inch thick. If your dough starts to get too soft, you can just kind of stop and try and pick it up off the pan or pick it up off your table and throw it back in the freezer for a few minutes. That will definitely help. Okay, so once you've cut everything that you can cut, you guys can roll this back out again. Because there's no gluten in it, you don't run the risk of making the cookies tough. Now, if these were regular sugar cookies, you really want to limit it to only 1 re-roll, because every time you do that, you're making the cookie, you're working the gluten more and more, making the cookies tough. All right, so our cookies are done baking, and while they cool, we're gonna go ahead and mix our icing, our royal icing for our decoration. So we're obviously just gonna make it all white, and then we're gonna separate it out into some different colors. So the cookies took about 11 minutes. Ours were a little bit thicker, and we got 2 of each shape at 5 different shapes. So we got about 10 to 12 cookies out of it, and they're really good and thick. So this icing is super simple. So in my bowl here already, I've got 2 1/4 cups of confectioner's swerve. And then I'm gonna add an 8-ounce block of cream cheese. So with your swerve and your cream cheese in the bowl, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start mixing it until it's kind of whipped up a little bit. And then we're gonna add a 1/2 cup of whipping cream, heavy whipping cream to it, just to kind of thin it down and give it a nice pipeable and decoratable, is that an adjective? Sure, we'll go with it, consistency, okay? So we're gonna beat these together. Again, it's powdered sugar, whether it's sugar alternative or not. So it is gonna poof if you go too fast. So we're just gonna take it easy. So now that it's like that, we're gonna add our 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. And we're going to continue to mix this until it's light and fluffy. Okay, so now we've mixed it until the mixture is nice and smooth. However, now that we're looking at it, it is a little bit thick, okay? Now, if you want just like a nice thick cookie buttercream style icing to spread on your cookies, by all means, okay? But we wanna be able to pipe it and flood and do different decorations. So we're actually just gonna thin this down with a little bit more heavy cream. But again, feel free, you can use this as a good substitute for any keto cream cheese icing.
We divided our icing up into 6 different bowls, and we're gonna use each different bowl to create a color. So this definitely can get a little bit messy, so that's why we do individual spoons. We like to kind of separate it out so that it's got its own places. Jeremy made some piping cones. You can either just use like a Ziploc bag and cut the tip off of it, or you can make these out of parchment paper, and we'll link a video in the description down below for somebody who is much better at teaching you how to do that.
I can make them, but it's actually, I cannot teach how to, it's
complicated.
It is not like a simple task.
Yeah. So somebody
takes lots of practice.
Somebody I'm sure has already perfected that, so. at our ghost family.
Yeah, all of our ghosties. Our ghost fairy.
Yeah, ghost fairy.
Yeah. With the fire and the play on the blonde tips. And yeah, that was fun. You know,
it actually took us a really long time. You can see it's dark outside now.
Yeah.
I have no idea what time it is. It could be midnight for all I know.
But it was fun. We had a good time doing it. And then that's actually, we tasted one of the plain cookies. It's actually pretty tasty. Like, I mean, if you didn't tell me that it was all coconut flour and sugar-free, I'm not sure I would have known.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was, you can see our mouths are nicely colored because we were having like licking icing off our fingers and.
Yeah, the decorating process is definitely involved. And we do this every year for Christmas as well. But we've never done Halloween cookies before, but I definitely think it's gonna become a new tradition.
It's a good trend, I think. Yes. Yeah, I know. We've got color dyed all over the place. But this is a really fun thing to do with the kids. It's something fun. It's a good, quarantine activity. Those of you that are quarantined, and so anything that we can do to help give you guys some inspiration for things that you can do at home to kind of keep things somewhat normal.
Yeah.
If you do this, let us know. Send us pictures on Instagram, DM us, tag us in things that you post. If you guys make some cookies at home, let us know how they come out. Let us know if maybe something you did that you don't see here that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, we ordered the cookie cutters on Amazon, so I will put the link for those down below. I meant to get 2 different sizes of pumpkins, but I ended up with the same ones. But it's
fine.
It's fine. Yeah. They turned out good. So.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so let us know what you think in the comments down below. Which one of these is your favorite?
Yeah, absolutely.
No bias. You don't know who's here, so.
Remember, one of us is a classically trained pastry chef, and the other one is not.
It's fine. So let us know what you thought in the comments down below, and make sure that you like and subscribe our video to keep up with us for future videos. We release a new one every Saturday.